Thank you, JP, and welcome. And I would like to welcome all of you, which is into our first Dasra Philanthropy Forum in London. We've held a lot of these forums in Mumbai. In fact, the Dasra Philanthropy Forum in Mumbai is in its 7th year, and it's a key annual fixture. And we bring together different stakeholders with new ideas on giving, change, and impact. And so we do hope we make the London Philanthropy Forum a regular fixture as well with your support. So what I'll do today is perhaps, since this is our first forum, introduce Dasra, and then David can come in and talk a little bit more about the Girls Alliance, which is one of our focus areas of Dasra over the last few years. Dasra is a strategic philanthropy like no other. It's very unique. It was founded in 1999 to catalyze social change in India. It does so by transforming pre-existing ecosystems into thriving ecosystems. And we do this via collective impact. Very simply, a multi-stakeholder approach to solve large-scale social problems. So what does this mean? It really means looking at sectors in India, social sectors in India in great need, where there's a crying need for intervention. We identify high potential nonprofits who are active in those sectors, and then we build partnerships among these nonprofits and with others. So we choose a sector, we focus in on the sector, we figure out what nonprofits are on the ground, and then we create a collective impact ecosystem by including funders, hopefully a lot of you, government, local communities, and the media. Over a 3 to 5 period, we nurture, we build capacity, we channel funds and capital in a way where interventions are deep and sustainable. In an otherwise vast and fragmented social sector in India, where transparency is low and credible information is very hard to get, trust is indispensable. And so we assist funders, you folks, in identifying nonprofits to support, building confidence by taking responsibility alongside social organizations, on the ground social organizations. So we work with them on the ground, we take responsibility for their deliveries. We help funders understand the issues, so it's up to the funders to get more involved in the charities that they fund, and we facilitate that, we help that, and we take responsibility for impact, and we take responsibility for measuring the NGO impact for our funders and the impact that they're making on the ecosystem. It sort of doesn't matter whether the funding comes directly through Dasra or directly with Dasra support. All we really care about is that the ecosystem, over the years, we make a difference, the ecosystem changes, and we can measure that change and deliver what we promise. So in the last year, for example, Dasra has engaged with over 100 social organizations through a range of initiatives, including funding opportunities, capacity building workshops, and DSI accelerators. Additionally, we focus in on a few organizations that become our portfolio organizations in some of our key areas. Our current 11 portfolio organizations have impacted 18 million people in their lifetimes. In the past year, we have raised $13 million for our sector, for the different sectors that we work in, and we've forged partnerships with multiple institutions and foundations, including Tata Trust, Synergos, Bank of America, and DSP BlackRock. We're also grateful that we were invited as complimentary members to the Clinton Global Initiative. From a funding side, our funding is diverse. It comes from institutions, it comes from foundations, it comes from individuals. And all for us are equally important. It comes from India and internationally. One of our challenges that we've taken on is that we need not only international funding, but we want Indian companies, Indian institutions, and very importantly, Indian individuals involved in India, and we are succeeding in that. Our institutional funding allows us to channel 100% of other funding directly to the ecosystem on the ground. We have best-of-class financial controls and systems and tools for impact assessment, which is all key, absolutely essential if you're going to have support from institutions like USAID and Omidyar Trust, which is what we do. So they keep us on the straight and narrow. We've spent a lot of time and effort on building world-class systems. The new CSR law in India, which recommends corporates give 2% of profits to the social sector, has given us the opportunity to work very intimately and intensely with many corporates in India. In the last few months, BG Group and Philips India have been added on into a portfolio of corporates we worked with for the CSR program. We value, like I said, individual engagement via giving circles, not only for funding, but also for individuals' ideas and personal involvement in where the funds are going. So it's been immensely gratifying to see more and more people believing in giving. And giving, folks, does matter. We believe that by giving, we care about ourselves, our communities, and our societies. And we make a difference in the broad ecosystem that we all live in. On a personal note, my wife Anne and I, met the dynamic duo, one of who is here, Deval, and Neera. They're the husband and wife team, the founders of Dasra, while we were living in Mumbai in 2007. At that time, Dasra was a small, passionate outfit, but there was great potential. They had done all the hard work required in a startup, and very importantly, they had proof of model. We had a bunch of meetings, and a few tense meetings later, we realized that it was all about having confidence and ambition to scale up. And that, I'm glad to say, is exactly what has happened over the last few years. Last 5 to 7 years, Dasra has seen incredible growth, strong organization, a very systematic approach to giving and to philanthropy. And they are very well known for their innovative approach in tackling the gaps in some of India's toughest social issues. Deval and Neera themselves are an inspiration to all of us. They gave up promising investment banking careers in New York, and they went back home to the country of their parents' birth. They were determined to use the skills they had learned to devote their lives to philanthropy. And let me tell you, and I've observed this in close quarters, it has not been smooth sailing at all. Lots of very rough patches along the way, but they stuck to it during those rough times. Dasra's model has been tried, tested, and proven. It's one of the most robust ways to engage in philanthropy in India. So we look forward to creating new partnerships, new relationships with all of you, with many of you, and those of you who are already in the Dasra family, we hope to deepen our relationships with you. It's been my great privilege to have been associated with Dasra through all these years of great change. And I must say, we are at the cusp of even doing greater things. And so we're very excited about the future. As JP said, we have a great lineup today, and I'm sure it'll be a fascinating morning.